You may know Fresh Patch from Shark Tank, Oprah, or The Today Show. This is the Fresh Patch Podcast, where good pets get it. Sit back, put your paws up, and enjoy the show. Welcome, everybody, to the Fresh Patch Podcast. I'm your host, Drew, with my lovely co-host, Mr. Gabe, over there, and we have an amazing guest on our episode today, Taryn and Remy. If you wouldn't mind giving a quick intro to yourself. I know Remy's not in frame, but we can
You might make a guest appearance at some point. So happy to be here. My name is Taryn Berman. I'm based in New York City. Specifically, we live in Brooklyn. I am a content creator. Remy is my pet Bernedoodle. He's a little over 3 years old. And we started creating content ever since he was a little puppy.
That's amazing. Wow. And I didn't know he was that young. Wow. I mean,
Yeah.
before we started recording that we've been working with, Taryn and Remy for a little, probably 3 years now. So I didn't
Yeah.
realize he was that
Yeah.
young. I don't know. It's
so
been,
funny too.
it's been a long time.
I didn't realize he was a Bernedoodle, but that makes so much sense because he's got those long legs, you know?
Well, funny story, Remy's supposed to be a mini Bernedoodle. I would not characterize Remy as mini in any capacity. He's more of
Yeah.
a mini horse.
Yeah, yeah,
That's no way. I would have never guessed that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
that's funny. My
A little
roommate
bigger than expected.
with his dachshund, he was supposed to be a mini, and then by the time it was like 2 months old, it was already bigger than the threshold. So he's like, "Well, it's quite a
Not a mini.
normal-sized dachshund."
I didn't know there was such thing as a mini dachshund. I thought they were all mini.
Yeah.
They all.
That's funny. Cool. And before we dive into all our questions and really get this episode started, I want all our viewers and listeners hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube, listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcast. Hit that subscribe button, like, comment, drop a follow for @FreshPatch on all socials. Check out freshpatch.com. And give a follow to Taryn and Remy as well. Remy from BK, right?
Yep, Remy from BK.
There we go. We'll have that in the description as well. And yeah, give everyone a follow and tune into the Fresh Patch Podcast wherever you listen. But yeah, let's dive into things, get to know you and Remy. And yeah, like I said, really excited to have you on. I know we've been working here for a while, so really, really cool to get you on here. So I'll start us off, Gabe, and
Sure.
we'll go from there.
Sounds good.
So you gave us a little background on where you're from and everything, but how did Remy come into your life originally?
Yeah, so I mean, I grew up with dogs my entire life. I had three Yorkies, three golden retrievers. We always had two at a time. It's kind of a bit of an odd pairing. And I always wanted a dog of my own, but living in New York, I just feel like, hustle and bustle and life kind of always kept me busy, and it wasn't the right moment until about 3.5 years ago in the summer of 2022 when I moved apartments. So I lived in Manhattan for a really long time, but then I moved to Brooklyn, and I got an apartment with really big outside space. I have a pretty large terrace, and I was like, okay, I have the space. I'm in the right point, in my career. Like I feel like I can dedicate the time now, and it's just something that I had always wanted. So I did some research online. I found a Bernedoodle breeder that I really liked out west in Utah. Started some conversations, reached out, asked more about the process, put a deposit down, and then fast forward, it was January 2023, and Remy was headed my way on a plane with a flight nanny who brought him to me to LaGuardia Airport.
Wow, that's awesome. A flight nanny.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's cool.
I know.
Such a
Nice side career as a flight nanny, flying puppies around the country.
Oh yeah, two really cool breeds though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've always wanted a poodle mix and then also like a Bernedoodle.
Mm.
But we live out here in California. It's a little toasty for them. So
Yeah. Well, you can, I keep Remy pretty short sometimes, so you can, clip their hair.
okay,
But yeah, I do think like the burner in him, he prefers the snowy weather.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Does he ever go out and just like when it does snow there, does he ever just lay out there?
Oh yeah.
Bask?
Yeah.
Yeah, classic.
Oh yeah.
I love those videos on social media when they
Yeah.
go find a husky just like buried in the snow. They're like, come
Yeah.
inside. And the husky's looking at him like, nah, like I'm just getting started, you know? Like,
Remy would literally stay outside for hours. He would sleep outside. And again, I mentioned I have a big outside space, so I have a terrace, which is great. And he's trained to go to the door, but he also just goes to the door, if he wants to have fun outside. So I open the door, especially if it's snowing, and he will literally like roll around outside for as long as I'll let him stay outside for.
that's so cute.
So
And
yeah,
that's so nice that you have a big terrace. I know
yeah,
I've always loved
Yes.
your view, like I said before we started recording, and the view, just everything, the whole space is so great for,
yeah,
an
yeah.
apartment. Is it a condo technically, or is it an apartment?
No, it's so I live in a rental building. There are a lot of condos in the area. I just really lucked out in finding this unit. So my whole building, all the units do have outside space, but not all of them have the same size and the same view, of course. But yeah, no, I just really lucked out with this amazing apartment. It's like an unobstructed view. There's parks all around. It's great.
No, I know. I'm a little jealous. Every time I do see the videos, I'm like,
Yeah.
that is a nice like,
Well,
like
you guys
every
can
time.
come
I can
visit.
hang out there.
Yeah.
We'll host the Fresh Batch team.
There we go. I'm there.
Booking my tickets now.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, the name Remy, I feel like that's pretty unique for a dog.
Yeah.
Is there a story behind it? I do have a guess, and my guess
Well,
is
I,
Ratatouille.
I wish, yeah, I wish I had a better story. People
Yeah.
ask us, and it's just like a name that I liked. I knew a person who went by Remy when I was in college, and I just like thought it was a cool name. I feel like also, it could be a male dog, it could be a female dog. It's kind of like mysterious in that way. But I
Yeah.
just liked the name, so he's not really named after anyone or anything specifically. I do know, like the movie Ratatouille, the main character, the rat, their name is Remy. So people have asked me that before, which is funny, but he's not named after that movie. It's just a name that resonated with me. But funny enough, and I didn't realize this, so Remy's dad was actually also named Remy.
Oh,
Okay.
So when the breeder asked what I was going to name him after he was born, because the litter had other names at the time. The breeder that I used, she would give each litter like a theme. So Remy's litter was the palace's theme. So there was a pup named like Versailles. His name was Lux. And she asked what his name was going to
Yeah.
be, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to name him Remy." And she's like, "Oh, that's too funny. That's his dad's name." And I was like, "Well, that's weird, but that's fitting." So
Yeah.
I guess we could say he's named after his father, and he's carrying on the legacy.
Like father, like son, I
Yeah,
guess.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Did they
yeah.
name the father Remy because of Ratatouille, or was that just a random?
I don't know, to be
Yeah.
honest. Good question. I don't think I should have
So
asked.
safe
Yeah.
to say that Remy's no good in the kitchen. Doesn't
He's
help.
good at eating things from the kitchen. He's good at jumping on the counter, but he doesn't really help you with the cooking.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah.
That'd be a good video of like, something like
Yeah.
how the rat's in the
Yeah,
hat.
him like pulling your hair.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Trying to get me to get him a meal off the counter, He's not
Yeah.
here to cook.
oh, that's funny.
That's great. Well, that's a cool name. I love the name. And like you
Yeah.
said, it's perfect for a male or a female.
Yeah, and
Well,
it's with a Y at the end. I like I don't know, dog names with Y's at the end. And my
Yeah.
family growing up, a couple of them had like similar naming. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Cool. So Remy, obviously we know, we get the great potty videos for Remy and
Yes.
Patch, of course, but what was Remy like as a puppy versus now? Have you seen a big change, or is he kind of the same personality?
yeah, to be honest, he's pretty much the same. I laugh. He's the same, but he's just bigger. Like I said before, he's supposed to be mini, but he's by no means mini unless we're gonna call him a mini horse. Because he weighs like 50 pounds, but he is super high energy. Like he's super playful. He loves toys. He loves people. He loves other dogs. Like he loves everything. Like the happiest, goofiest, friendliest, just like a joy for life. Like I wish I wish I could channel his energy sometimes.
Oh,
But he really is like very similar. He definitely has puppy energy. So even though he looks older, right? Like he definitely look at him and he looks like he's matured.
yeah.
He's for sure like a puppy at heart. People when I'm walking him to ask me, if he's a puppy, just based on his like vibe and his energy. So I would say he's very similar. Again, just bigger.
Yeah. I have a follow-up question to that. I
Yeah.
know Remy, like I've seen all his potty videos with Fresh Patch. It looks like he does like a little, he really exaggerates the leg lift. He does his little
Yeah.
pose. Was that from a puppy or did that kind of develop over time?
That developed over time because it took him a bit to start lifting his leg, actually, when he peed, which I know is common. Like it takes the dogs a bit to like figure out how to do that. But like the dude has a lot of core strength because like he like lifts up his leg, he can hold it up, he can do like yoga poses. It's pretty impressive.
That's so
Like, oh,
Yeah,
go.
love that.
yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say I remember when we first started working with you and stuff, and yeah, he was a squatter when he was a puppy. I
He
remember.
was. He
Oh,
was.
and then
Yeah. And he doesn't even balance on anything now, right? Like he just walks onto the patch.
yeah,
He lifts. I mean, he could stand there for a long time. So it's
Oh
pretty
yeah.
impressive.
yeah,
It's like a yoga pose almost.
Yeah, no, literally. I think I made a video once where I was like, Remy's doing his morning yoga, like, or who needs a yoga studio because he does it right outside on the patch. And it's so true.
That's
yeah.
really
That's
funny.
so good.
Yeah.
We've always wanted to like target the patch to
Yeah.
humans in that regard too. Like it's grounding. You can get a
Yeah.
yoga session and
Yeah.
work at the same time. So it's always funny when
Yeah.
creators like you kind of tie that in with their dog. Like it's so funny to me. I'm like, yeah, the dog is kind of doing
Doing yoga.
like
Yeah. He's a very
Chaturanga.
athletic guy. More athletic than me.
yeah.
Yeah. I can't lift my leg that high personally.
I
So
mean, I couldn't do it. So yeah.
awesome. So did you always plan on starting an Instagram for him, or did that kind of just come organically? And
Yeah, it kind of came organically, to be honest. I didn't plan to, but I spent a lot of time on Reddit before I got Remy actually, because there's a Bernedoodle community. Obviously there's communities for everything. And I
Yeah.
use it for other reasons. Like I'm in the Williamsburg, Brooklyn community a lot and like the New York City food scene community, but I spent a lot of time in the Bernedoodle community just trying to get advice for someone getting a new puppy. And then when I got him, I started posting some pictures in there.
yeah,
And people were like, he's so cute. You should start an Instagram for me. And they were pretty persistent. And I was like, sure, like that sounds like fun. Might as well, I think he's pretty cute too, and it could
yeah.
be fun to create a page for him. So I started an Instagram for him. Funny enough, I actually work in communications and marketing myself, so it's like a pretty natural extension of what I do in real life.
For sure.
But yeah, it kind of just happened and then, took off from there.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was gonna ask, like, is like it sounds like you did a little bit for work, but like any other kind of social media content creation kind of experience?
Yeah, I mean, primarily through work. I have an Instagram for myself. I use that more for like sharing pics when I travel, restaurants, like bars in the city, but it's really more of like personal use on my own page. But
Yeah,
then for work, working in social media, I feel like that carried over for sure.
absolutely. Yeah, I know we know that. It's just
Yes. Yeah.
what we do here. So
Yeah. No, and it's and shout out to you too for having the time. I don't know. I just feel like
yes. Oh
we
my
always have
gosh.
time. That's a big question we ask creators like you too, because I'm trying to boost my dog's page up and just started from the ground up right now. And I'm like kind of
Yeah.
mindset. I'm like, I'm in this every single day through work, but then like when it comes down to it, I'm just like, one, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
And two,
Yeah, there
like
it's some long days, but I think you figure out how to, make the time and, you know, I'm a night owl for sure. So it's like I've got my kind of second gig after the first gig and I, just spend some time like after work and at night. I'm also a huge planner. I'm very type A. So I'll have content like kind of batched and saved. So there's like a lot of strategies to it, I would say.
yeah, no, definitely. That's how I've been trying to operate is just, batching things up, like just time management and stuff,
Yeah.
I could just pump stuff out and then I'm kind of good to go. But
Yeah.
beneficial for you. I'm not a night owl at all. Like I'm out. It's like I will fall asleep talking to you on the couch. Like
See, I'm not a morning person at all. So I can talk to you all night, but in the
yeah,
morning, not so
exact
much.
opposite.
I'm with you as a fellow night owl. I think there's not enough knowledge about us out there. People are always, talking about morning people and whatever, but us night owls deserve some love too, I think. So shout out to you for that.
It's great. And I was gonna ask too, just going off the question Gabe just asked, how many followers does Remy have now?
He has just about 11,000 followers now.
Just
Yeah, he's like five off. So we'll say 11,000.
nice. I'm rounding up over here.
Rounding up.
Yeah, that's great. That's cool. That's great growth. I mean,
Yeah.
my dog's got what, like 15. So yeah, we're on our way, you know. It's
Well,
mother.
Remy will follow your dog, so he'll have one
There
more.
we go. Ooh, Oakley the White Shepherd. I'll give you the handle after. Great. So moving back into more life in Brooklyn,
Yeah.
on a terraced apartment, everything. What's it really like raising a dog in Brooklyn?
Yeah, I mean, I would say for the most part, it's been great, especially since I do have the outside space and the access to so much like greenery and parks in the area. There's obviously hard moments too, but again, for the most part, it's great. There's also a ton of dogs in the area. In New York City in general, and like in most cities, there's probably a lot of dogs, but like in this area of Brooklyn in particular, there are just so many dogs. Again, I think that's just because there's more space, right? And like the parks and we're on the water. It just is like a really nice community. I've made a ton of friends too in the area, like human friends that have dogs. And like Remy, has made friends that way too. So I think it's like given a real sense of community
Mhm.
to both of us, which is really nice. And then again, like, I touched on it can be hard at some time. Like I don't live in a house where I have a backyard where Remy can zoom around all day. Of course he has the patch, but he needs exercise. So we do go on walks if it's pouring rain, it's not the best day for a walk, right? But like, we carry on. And I think it's like the typical push and pull of living in a city. So here I would say like it's just great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's good.
that's really cool. And like kind of playing off that community aspect of it. I'm sure, you have your favorite dog spots in the city. What are some of those?
Yeah, so I mentioned the parks probably like ad nauseum by now, but there are really nice parks here. So we love heading down to Domino Park in Williamsburg. And then also we actually live right across the street from two parks. One is a state park. They don't allow dogs, but it's where they do Smorgasburg, which is a big food festival they do here. But right next door, there's Bushwick Inlet Park, which is like a local neighborhood park, and you can walk all the way down to the water for some really nice views. And then there's a lot of hotels in our area as well. The Hoxton Hotel has like a really awesome kind of lobby meetup space. There's a coffee bar, people work from there, and it's super dog friendly. You can bring your dog and hang out there. And then I would say for the most part, like most of the coffee shops and restaurants in the area that have outdoor seating, we tend to frequent those. One of them is this place, it's called Sunday in Brooklyn. It's a like popular brunch and dinner spot. When you bring a dog, if you sit outside, they give you like a little treat bag for the dog and they give you a water bowl and they actually like put the dog's name on it. I guess they draw it on. They literally will ask you what your dog's name is so they can give them a customized water bowl. It was like super cute. And then the stores here too, like there's so many, stores and good shopping, but North 6th Street in Williamsburg has a bunch of stores and they all have treats behind the counter. They have treats outside. Like they love when the dogs come in. So it's like super, super dog friendly here and it's fun.
That's
That's
so
awesome.
cool. Yeah, I mean it's hard to imagine it. I think just being in California, like when we hear New York and Brooklyn, we're just thinking concrete jungle,
Yep.
high rises, like
Yeah, yeah.
there's not a park in sight, like Central Park's it, like
Yeah.
type of thing.
Yeah. Right. And I'm have two parks across the street, one that's 10 minutes away, three others, right, that might be 10 minutes north. And that's probably unique to like maybe the pocket of where I live in Brooklyn, but I would say like there's definitely more green space in general than
Gotcha.
you would think. And that makes it really nice.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I'm not the best with geography, but how far is Central Park from? Did you ever go there at all?
I will go sometimes. It's up, it's a bit more uptown. What I can say is the subway here, like it takes me about 5 minutes to walk to the subway, which is quick. I can be in Manhattan, so not Central Park, but in Manhattan in general, in like 5 more minutes from there. So between like 10 to 15 minutes, I'm in Manhattan. And then it would probably take another, let's say like 20 minutes to get more uptown, 20 to 30. So it's not, you're not traveling for hours. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, that's nice. We always forget about the subways
Yep.
here in
Yeah.
California. Yeah, nobody.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean, the L train in Brooklyn, it's quick. It just, has to be running. Sometimes it goes down, and then you're like,
I
you
was
can
gonna
hop on the ferry though, in that case.
say,
But it gets really busy during commuting hours because like the L is the main line here. But again, like once you're on it, super fast. I've timed it, like 5 minutes, like I said, and I'm already in Manhattan. So can't get easier than that.
that's
that's so
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
was gonna say our subway in Southern California is the 101 freeway. So not
Yeah.
really
And,
as
and it's probably a traffic jam all day
oh
Oh,
yeah,
long.
it's horrible. Yeah,
constantly.
Yeah.
Californians love their cars.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, we have
Yeah.
carpool lanes, but you
Yeah.
driving through and you just see one person in every car. Like
Yeah.
nobody likes public transportation, and it's just like a
Yeah.
totally different scene. When
Yeah.
it comes
And
to
I have a car.
transportation.
I actually have a car too. That's been something that's been really helpful because when I first had Remy, I did not have a car. So if I was trying to get out of the city and let's say like see family, because my family's from the suburbs of New York City, I would have to like send my brother in to pick me up or like ask a friend to help me out. So having a car here has been pretty critical too.
I see, and I still can't picture like owning a car. I don't know. We just have such a different perspective.
Yeah.
I've only been
Yeah.
to New York once, and I was a kid, and
Yeah.
so like it was just like chaos to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like organized chaos, I should say. Like everyone
Yeah.
knows what they're doing. Everyone like has their subway system or where they're going, the taxi ride, whatever. But like when I think about it, I'm just like, holy moly! Like,
Yeah.
where's my car?
Pretty
Yeah. You have
Where's
to
my
be an
car?
assertive driver here. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. That's awesome. Cool. So you kind of touched on some dog friendly spots in the city, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I feel like, that obviously brings more community and, gets you guys out and stuff and everything. But what are some challenges of city dog life people don't think about?
So this has been interesting for me because I talked before about how there's so many dogs, right? Like I'm in the city, there's so many dogs, but it's like something I never thought about before, and maybe others have. But I have to be really careful when I'm walking around, like even just walking down the street, because like we're in the city, right? And the sidewalks get tight and there's dogs everywhere, and you don't want like the wrong dog kind of snapping at your dog or coming up to you.
Yeah.
That's something I never thought about before because like I was like, yeah, let's have my dog and walk him around. But it's something I've noticed. And again, maybe it's because there's like such a high concentration of dogs here, but just like overall safety and like keeping your dog safe is a challenge a bit more than I feel like in suburban life where like your dog might just be more sheltered, right? And like in your backyard and with your family primarily because Remy's like out and about.
Mhm.
So it's like it's kind of that, just the safety aspect. And then the lovely dilemma of making sure that we don't step in dog poop, which is there's a lot of that in New York City, and especially with the recent snow, there was a lot of talk online. There was like a dog poop epidemic, where people were just like leaving poop to melt in the snow. So
Uh,
you could not even imagine how much dog poop there is on the street. So that's a challenge.
Yeah. Sounds like New York needs to be stocked with Fresh Patch's newest poop bags.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think we need to put the bags on every corner. I think you need to send me some to hand out. I have, of course, for personal use, and I recommend to all my friends, but I think I need to like go around the neighborhood and put them out.
Yeah, we can absolutely do that.
yeah,
We can absolutely send you some if
that
you
would
if
be
you want to do that. I mean, if
Yeah,
it was
I
never.
would be happy to do that. There are some people here who need to learn about dog poop etiquette. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Uh,
side note,
that's a challenge.
Yeah.
if a certain Mr. Zoran Mandami is watching,
Please
we're willing
help.
to work with you. We understand the issue, and please hit us up.
Yeah, hit us up, freshpatch.com. You can reach out to service at freshpatch.com,
Yes.
partner at
Yeah.
freshpatch.com. We got our emails. We have a very concerned citizen
Yes.
here that is tired of poops, and we have solutions.
We
So
do.
hit us up.
Please.
Solutions.
That's great. That's getting clipped right there.
Yes.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
tagging
Perfect. So, kind of what we were just talking about does sound like maybe if there were some more fresh patches around the city, that might help with that issue as well. But kind of going off of that, how has using Fresh Patch made living in the city easier for you?
Yeah, I mean, this is really it for me because it has made my life so much easier for a number of reasons. So one, when Remy was younger, like first of all, he was a puppy. He had a lot of stomach issues. So we'll call it that. You know where I'm going with this. A
course.
lot of tummy issues. So there were many nights where I was up like at 2 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. I was up all night. And all I had to do was go and open my terrace door and let him out on his fresh patch. Like, I mean, I can't thank you guys enough for helping me out in those situations. Obviously, I had to clean the patch, right? But that beats putting on clothes, getting dressed, running down in my elevator, walking him in the street in the middle of the night. So just like in terms of puppy life, him growing up, Fresh Batch was immensely helpful. And then it's just really helpful to me. Like I said, I'm not really a morning person. I can wake up first thing in the morning, open my door. Remy can use the patch. And then, we go for our walk on our time when it works well. Late at night, I can open my door and Remy goes right outside, right, and uses the patch, and I don't have to worry about like, walking him in the dark in the middle of the night. That's not to say my neighborhood isn't safe. It's super safe, but it's just the comfort and it's the ease, I think. The fresh patch has really brought me. And then also, not I work from home certain days. If Remy has to go out, like again, I just walk, I take a break, I walk to my door, I open it, and he runs outside. So, I mean, the convenience factor is like immeasurable.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It doesn't get much more convenient than that.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. That's a beautiful, beautiful testimonial. I'm so glad it's been
You can
such a
quote me on that.
right. Yeah. Oh, we already did. Don't worry now. No, that's so great, and I just love hearing the stories from people like you. The exact reasons why. But yeah, the tummy issues, great. Like it was there. Yeah, maybe a little
Yeah,
extra cleaning than usual with the patch, like as we always
sure, but
market it as. It's not much cleaning. You just toss it. But yeah, you get those tummy issues. You're gonna have to do a little wiping and stuff
yeah,
and whatnot. But yeah, just all in all, the ease of mind, the peace of mind, like you said, you don't have to go out in the middle of the night. That's a big
yeah,
challenge as a woman too. We get that feedback
yeah,
a lot. Just yeah, yes, you're in a safe neighborhood, but it just limits risk. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Absolutely.
Um,
yeah,
it's
a
so
hundred
cool. So
percent, 100%. I mean, also like it doesn't mean just because you have a fresh patch doesn't mean you're never going to take your dog for a walk. As long as your dog, right, is like mobile and able to go for walks. Of course, you still take your dog for a
definitely.
walk, but to the points what we were just discussing, it gives you that flexibility and that convenience. So it's so helpful.
Yeah, I like the way you said it. It's like on your time. Like you know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like you
yeah,
wake up early, yeah, he does his business, but now you have it's your time to go on a walk when you
yeah,
want, type of thing.
exactly.
Yeah, so that's great. Yeah, so like you said, to all the viewers and listeners, Fresh Patch is
Mhm.
not an
Don't hate.
alternative to walking.
Yes,
Okay, we do actually sell a leash and collar set,
we
so check
do.
it out, freshpatch.com. Walk your dog,
Yes.
New York. Pick up your poop if you're walking your dog. Okay,
With the fresh patch
with the
boot
Fresh Patch poop bags,
Yes.
limited
Yes.
time offer right now, free dispenser, so you can hook it right onto your leash and you're never out of poop bags. So look out for Taryn too. Maybe in Remy walking the streets, maybe you'll get a free handout of the poop bags. That's great. Awesome. Well, thank you for being, such a loyal customer to Fresh Patch as well. And I'm glad our product can be such a benefit for you.
For sure.
Cool. So, you're very active in the dog community while also balancing your career. How do you manage both? And I know we touched on that a little bit
Yeah.
earlier, but if you wouldn't mind expanding.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a balancing act. But like I said before, I'm definitely a planner. I'm definitely type A. So, I do put in the work and I do plan. So from a content standpoint, I keep drafts. I have like a little content calendar that I keep for myself. I have a note in my phone to keep myself organized. So it's that planning, so that everything doesn't have to feel like rushed, right, or last minute. Um, I also use my insights from Instagram to determine like when I should post in a given week. I of course have scheduled posts before. And then I edit and I work on content, after work and at night, because like we talked about, I'm a bit of a night owl. Something that I do use sometimes, I do use some AI tools, right? Just to help me with like caption writing, or even just like checking captions I've written for like a gut check.
Mm.
brainstorming ideas. Like I think AI, right? It's like all the rage right now, but it is a really helpful, it is a helpful tool and it really helps me streamline and maximize my time. Now, that's not to say it takes away from the human touch completely. I'm using it in a supportive way.
Yeah,
But I like to be transparent about that. And I'm sure a ton of other creators are using AI tools too.
definitely.
And then in terms of just like being out and about in the community, like most of the events and things we do are typically on the weekends. So it works out well with my day job. But really, again, it's just about it's a push and pull, it's a balance, it's about, planning and using smart tools to help me.
For sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, using AI as a tool, like it's there
Mhm.
Yeah.
for you to use, like other people are going to use it. So, at a certain point, like, you know, we're all going to have to adapt to that. And I think
Yeah.
Yeah,
using it in the way that you're using it as like a helpful tool to like make sure everything's going smoothly and like help spark some ideas.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's there for. So,
yeah.
and
It's
we
not a
Yeah.
never,
replacement. It's not a replacement for the
no,
human aspect.
Yeah, because I think like the authenticity and the human touch is obviously like critical. I never want to get to a point where like the content doesn't feel authentic, like it's in our natural voice or it's something that we really believe in. Like I think that is so important as a creator that you're authentic with what you're promoting, with what you're posting about. So like you never want to lose that, but I think using a tool to help you make a sentence read better, right? Or like refine a point. I think that's a good use of AI.
yeah,
Definitely.
no,
I use it like crazy for that.
Yeah.
Just spelling and
yes.
stuff, just here at work and
Hmm.
just oh man, like that's yeah, that sounds way better than what I typed out originally. Like, let me just click on
Yeah.
that real quick.
Here's what I want to say. Like, help me say it
Yeah,
better.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Awesome.
Cool.
Cool. So, if you wouldn't mind, take us through the typical day for you and Remy,
yeah.
including like balancing work, taking care of Remy, all that sort of stuff, and then also like content creation.
Yeah. So I work from home about 3 days a week, and then the 2 other days I go to my office. So no matter what day it is, like Remy always wakes me up first thing in the morning. He typically like paws at me, or sometimes he punches me nicely. But he is ready to go for breakfast first thing in the morning. So he eats before he wants to go outside. He loves food, so I feed him. And then like I said before, I open the door and he goes on the fresh patch. And that, gives me time then to like get him ready, go on a walk. We grab coffee. I always do an iced coffee, even if it's winter. That's just my thing.
Same. Feel
Use
that.
that time. Sorry, I use that time in the morning when we're walking. Like I'll capture photos and video, like candid, or if he's like jumps on a bench and like he's in a cute pose. Like I'll snap pictures throughout the whole walk, just so I get some stuff to kind of like look back on. And then if I'm going to the office, Remy will stay home. He stays home loose. I have a dog walker that actually comes and he loves his dog walker. And then once I'm home, Remy will, of course, want to eat again. So he has dinner. We go on another walk. And then during the week, that's when I'm usually kind of like relaxing, posting stories. I start editing content. So I really use that after work time to kind of like catch up on my content creation. But then the days when I'm home, Remy joins me usually in the office, and he's usually pretty chill. Like he kind of just lays around and sleeps. Other days, though, he's a little vocal and likes to kind of bark and dance around in the background. So today he was doing that. But on days where I'm home, I have a little bit more time, to take a break, like during the workday, right, and shoot some content. That's usually on Mondays and Fridays. And I'll capture like any kind of content that I have planned or stuff that we owe for brands. So I'll say, it's like every day is not the same, but it's pretty thought out and planned. And I just, capture as much content as I can. And then I spend the time going through all of it and preparing it.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
Do you have any like time frames or like time blocks? Like you only spend an hour editing or something, or is it like you said, it's kind of case by case, night by night, what?
Yeah, it just depends. Depends also on, no, I would say there's not a certain amount of time that I have blocked off. It's pretty fluid. It just depends on what I'm doing. Obviously, I do like go out and see my friends and do things sometimes. So
Yeah.
it just depends really. I don't have a perfect system where it's a specific amount of time.
Gotcha. Yeah, because that's where I feel like I struggle too. It's like I need a time
Yeah.
block, and then it's like almost too forced.
Yeah.
I need to be editing right now. It's like, but I got to do this other thing, and it kind of gets a little messy. And like you said, social life too. If you
Yeah.
need to have a social life,
Oh yeah.
what a significant other, whatever it is, you got to have time for all those other things.
Yeah.
That could be, it is a struggle for me, and I'm sure it's a struggle for other people as well. So that's why I asked, because I'm like, okay, is it like, okay, this next hour I'm editing everything I filmed today, and then that gives me, 5 videos for the rest of the week or whatever. It's just kind of like, yeah, you just get it done and it gets
Yeah.
type of thing.
Yeah, for me it's a little bit more fluid, but like I said, I do always like I take Remy for a walk. Obviously, I have my phone and it just feels like, okay, let me just like be candid with it, right? I know he's gonna, sit and pose. I know he's gonna try to get a treat. I know like there's a lot of really cool like buildings and murals and street art here. Like I know he's gonna pose. So I just try to like capture, and then Um, cull through, edit, save it, so it's ready to go.
Gotcha.
Nice.
That makes sense. Yeah. And then like for like a walk situation, do you
Yeah.
it's just like, I'm gonna edit him on our walk today. Is that kind of like the concepts of the video? Like it's just the day,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we'll do, Remy's morning, the coffee shop we went to, the park, like scenes from the park. His dog walker sometimes sends me photos too when I'm not home, so I'll post, his day, his outing with his dog walker. But there's just like so many natural moments being out and about in the neighborhood, that lend themselves, toward good content. If it's something for a brand though, like, a product placement or promoting something, that's a little less shot on the go on the walk. 'Cause that's obviously, more planned or shot at home. So for brand collabs, I would say I usually do those on Mondays and Fridays when I'm home versus the more candid content.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So you're doing more just like day in the life,
Yeah.
with Remy, and yeah, that makes sense. Cool.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do with my dog too. We get to bring him to the office. We get to bring our dogs here, so it's like the
Yeah.
perfect recipe. It's like, well, just show what he does at work. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
day in the life. So
Yeah.
that's cool. No, I just sorry for the specific questions. I just wanted
Oh,
it's always so interesting to be
perfect.
vigilant.
Yeah.
It's just
He's trying to glean what he can off of.
yeah. Anywhere I can learn, I'll learn. So cool. So talked about the typical day, but anything fun, new, or exciting things ahead for you and Remy?
Well, we have some fun collabs that are coming up, so stay tuned for those. I can't reveal details right now, but lots of cool
Okay.
stuff coming from Remy from BK.
Hell
We're super happy that it's finally nice out here in New York. Hopefully it lasts. It has been a really, really snowy, cold winter, so looking forward to just more time outside. Like New York City really comes alive in the spring and leading into the summer. Personally, I'm busy trying to figure out my next summer vacation. That might be less exciting for Remy, since he won't be joining me unless Bark Air wants to collab with us, in which case hit us up.
yeah,
But
retreat
yeah,
too, hit them up. They're looking for a
yeah,
trip.
Yeah.
we'll travel. Remy will travel.
Yeah.
Just hasn't had the opportunity yet. So yeah, some fun collabs. Like I said, nice weather, time outside.
Yeah, the typical. Yeah, I mean, hopefully you guys get some. It's gonna be hot here for us in this summer.
It's already hot.
Yeah, it's already
I'm
hot.
sitting here in a sweater and I'm like, ooh, probably poor choice to a
Yeah,
sweater on.
yeah, we got the AC on.
Oh, we do?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
We could
But
go either way. It might be in the 60s this week and then like next week snow again. I hope not.
yeah,
Weather's been pretty temperamental here, so you never know.
yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Well, cool. That sounds like you have a lot of fun, exciting things. The collabs. I'm
Yeah,
looking forward to seeing that and stuff. Like I said, NDAs were signed, so no, we won't speak of anything until they're posted. But really cool, and yeah, I'd love to. Obviously, we talked about getting you some more poop bags and stuff, so we'll
we would
get after
love.
this, and maybe that turns into a little series too. You and Remy are handing out fresh patch poop bags to your fellow dog walkers around the city. I think that could be a nice fun
We
segment.
would
So,
love to do that.
Awesome.
Love to do that.
Great, great. And the poop bags have been working out for you. I know we've
Yeah.
always gotten them, but these are like the new official,
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, and they're good because they're like thick, they're durable. A lot of times you'll get a poop bag and it's just like really thin and like flimsy and you can smell through them. But yeah,
So
they've been great. They've come in clutch on our walks. And then also, of course, on the patch, I can use the poop bag just to pick up
yeah.
Remy's poop.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I know. I hate to. That's what we're designing it. We're like, we don't want to see our hand through it. We don't want to
No.
see steam. We definitely don't want to smell it.
No, we do not.
So
We do not want to do any of those things.
yeah, great. Well, I'm glad you're liking them, and for all the viewers, listeners, check out freshpatch.com for all your real grass potty needs, poop bags, leash and collar sets, treats. We got everything for you guys. So
Real grass,
check
too.
it out.
Believe it
Real
or not.
grass. Yeah, real.
Can't forget the grass.
Get off those pee pads, people. We want real grass in the household. So awesome. Thank you, Taryn. I mean, this has been great. That's all of our
Yeah,
questions
of course it is.
for today. And thank you for taking the time, and always great speaking with you, and catching up with.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me, guys. This was really fun.
Yeah, of course. And to close things off, hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts. Follow at Fresh Patch on all social media. Freshpatch.com, like I just said, for all your real grass potty needs. Anything else, we got it. And check out Remy from BK. Give them a follow.
Oh, yeah.
Stay tuned to their content. Like she just said, some new and exciting things coming out soon. So give them a follow, engage, comment, like. Thanks for everybody for listening, and we'll catch you on the next episode of the Fresh Patch Podcast.
Woohoo.
Thanks for listening to the Fresh Patch Podcast, where good pets get it. We hope you enjoyed the show. Give us a like or a follow, and shop all real grass supplies at freshpatch.com.